We're adding some plug molds, some receptacles. We're even going to be piping in some GFIs for a break room. It is a Monday, and we are in Somerset, Massachusetts to start off our week. So this was the first task of the day. We had to add some plug mold above this baseboard here. I was super happy with the way this turned out. I used a single gang to 4-square changeover, some half-inch EMT, and then we made sure to label all the circuit numbers on there. That way we can actually shut it down and work on it safely in the future. This was the second task of the day. Take a look at how bad this receptacle was. It was arcing out on the side of the box, and because the breakers are so old in this building, none of them tripped. So this is the reason why I always wrap all my receptacles in tape. A lot of you say, why do you do it? Well, it's for safety reasons. So this is how the new setup looks. I was super happy with this as well. We got a plug on the bottom, a plug on the top. We replaced that bad transformer as well. And then we also labeled it multi-wire branch circuit, circuit number 9 and 10, because the building is over 150 years old. There's no 2-pole breakers, so I just don't want anyone to get hurt in the future in case they work on that. This is the type of equipment we're dealing with. It's a Frank Adam load center. It's super old, dates all the way back to the 1950s and 1960s. So when I'm going to be running my 12-3 MC here, I had to make a 5/8 hole through this brick beam here. I used the SDS bit here, and basically afterwards what we're going to do is we're going to take some MC clips and clip it to the side of the wall there and make sure that all our MC is nice and supported properly. Now I'm going to be reaming some EMT. Anytime that you cut EMT, you got to make sure that you ream it to make sure that there's no sharp edges. When I'm using easy anchors, because these walls are all horsehair plaster, they crack very easily and they're very fragile. So what I like to do is I'll use a small flathead screwdriver to make the initial hole, and then I'll thread in those easy anchors. Now, I didn't make any offsets or bend any of these pipes. I used standoff clips, and the reason why I did this is because the walls are so badly bowed and they're so badly crooked. So basically, I used the standoff clips there to keep everything looking nice and clean set up, and then I went over it with a multi-tool there. I cut all the screws on the standoff clips, because I don't like how the screws stick all the way out there. It doesn't look very professional. I like when the screws are cut flush. The clips just look a lot better. So that's just another, pro tip in case you guys ever use standoff clips. They also wanted me to keep the pipe in front of the wall a little bit because they might add a shelf bracket behind it. So they wanted to make sure that they could slide the shelf bracket underneath that EMT. So now we're going to be cutting in 2 access panels here tomorrow. We're probably going to be getting here around 5 o'clock before everyone gets here to cut in those access panels so we can get into the panel. So if you're in Massachusetts or Rhode Island, give us a call.